Hello, in this video I will attempt to demonstrate how to play production line. After watching it, you should have a general idea on how to survive in this game. This will be my first attempt at an unscripted video, so let's see how that works out. So we start by loading up a game. Now we are in the factory. As you can see, there are already some additional rooms unlocked. I could unlock the extra room and expand my factory, but the bigger your factory, the more rent you pay, therefore the more cars you will have to sell, or else you will go bankrupt. The most important button will be over here, which is the slots button. The slots button allows you to basically add production facilities to your factory. As you can see, there are different facilities and basically they represent each step of a car. So we start with the chassis, then we add a body, then we paint the body, we fit the engine, we fit the accessories, we fit the electronics, we do a quality check, and then we can export the car to the showroom. The showroom already has some cars in it because, as I said, this is actually a save game, but that doesn't matter because I've removed everything. So let's start by producing some cars. Keep in mind that you should pause the game at this point because you will pay rent immediately and you will also pay interest on any loans you take. I recommend leaving at least 3 spots from the edges because that allows you to later move around cars between different parts of the factory. So we start with the chassis assembly and then we have to do an additional step because this is a save game in progress and it allows me already to construct different cars. So I'll just add a regular car so you don't have to worry about that. As a new player you can skip this step. Right, so now we have the chassis assembly. If we start running the game, it will say no route to the stockpile. Well, obviously. So we have to add some resources to this. So we will build a resource importer, like this. And then we add a conveyor belt right to where we need to be. Now the station will start importing the materials it needs. And now it will start constructing a chassis. Now we need to construct our next step. So basically I'll try to spread out these 5 parts between here and the end of the floor so we can expand in capacity without having to expand into the other regions. So let's say something like this. Oh, we can something like this. Okay, so then the next step will be to fit the body. Yeah, sounds alright. So we just add conveyor belts. As soon as the car is done in the frame, it will enter the body. Let's add some resources here as well. So we add another importer, we add a conveyor belt. Okay, there we go. So now the body is being added. This will actually take 31 minutes. This is where the gameplay comes into play. Because the first station will take 12 minutes. So eventually, it's about 3 times as fast. You'll immediately see cars piling up here. So if you want to make any profit at all, you need to take into account the running, waiting for next vehicle and waiting for reserve. You want the running percentage to be as high as possible, because else your employees are basically doing nothing. So the ratio is about 3 to 1. So you'll add another fit body and another fit body. Then we'll just split the belt like this. And the game will automatically sort this out because this spot is already filled. Don't forget to do the conveyor. Now this guy is actually waiting for a resource, which is another important part of the gameplay. The stations are actually a bit stupid in terms of importing their resources, which means you can do something like this at the start of the game. You make a little room and you add a stockpile. Stockpile is very cheap. And you can click it and then you add items or just copy from slot and then you will search the fit body. Hope I can find it. Yeah, over here. Now it will just create a list of everything that's required at that station. Of course it will need a route to the importer. Then it should start importing everything and making it available to our stations. Like this. So this will actually allow us to increase running percentage and decrease waiting for resources, because now it's just waiting for an event, whatever that is. Okay, now we need to create an exit. So we need to get these guys together on the same path again. Keep in mind that the direction matters. So if you drag from left to right, you will see the arrows going from left to right. If you drag from right to left, it will actually be reversed. So if I construct like this, it won't work. It'll just get stuck there. So that's very important. Okay, so let's add some more space. Then we can start painting cars. Using importers when you can is very important, because else they'll just end up waiting for resources. So there we go. This will be our first car that will get sprayed. Now we need the balancing again. This will take 34 minutes. As you remember, this one was 31 minutes and we already had 3 of those. So that means we also need a bit more than 3 paint guys. But 4 will be a bit too much, so we'll stick to 3 for now. This guy is running 98%. This guy is now running 81% with the new stockpile added. This guy is running 58% but increasing, and this guy is running 60%. It could use a closer stockpile, I guess. Right, now we have 2 cars being painted already. So we continue on to the next step. The next step will be to fit the engine. Next slot not found. Yeah, I'm doing that, guy. Right, so we need the engine and the accessories. It's only called to check. So I guess regarding space, it would be nice to leave room for something like this. And yeah, so I guess this would be alright here. Right, engine will take 22 minutes, so that's actually 10 minutes quicker than paint, or actually 15 minutes quicker. So for now we only need about 2 engine slots. You cannot balance this perfectly without doing research, so just do the thing that makes the most sense. If it's only a 4-minute difference, don't construct it, because it will be idle most of the time and you will go bankrupt. So again, we need another importer, which will be difficult. So I'll rearrange this. So I guess I'll use this one for the paint. Cut this line. Fit engine. Right, so now we can add the engines to our car. Now the final steps. You just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So now it starts importing headlights. Eventually you'll add more things to the car, so you'll need different components. And the complexity will increase. But for now, we just kind of spam it. The electronics is actually very fast, 2 minutes. And this one will be 15 minutes. But it's usually not a bottleneck, so for now I'll just link them like this. And then we need the final export. And before we do that, we need to do some quality checking. Okay, and now we should have complete cars to sell. So let's speed up a bit. Let me adjust something so these guys can sell. Now the first thing you should do before this car is actually finished is to increase the price of your model. As long as you're only producing a few cars, you can start with about 30% premium, which will help your profit a lot. There we go. Quality check, export, and boom, it's in the showroom. Now, as you can see, this game has been in progress for quite a while, so all these red features are universal features. This means that the market is expecting this car to have power steering, in-car music, steering headlights for around heaters, etc. Which basically reduces the perceived value of the car, which usually results in having to reduce the premium. And this is something that actually got patched in version 3. So the competitors will be a lot slower actually. So this basically completes the first part of the tutorial, because we now have a working construction line which produces 3 vehicles per hour. I'll do some quick checking to see if there's something we can improve. So this guy is just running 98%. And this guy is doing 72, 61, 39. Not sure why. So seems okay though. They're now obviously. This guy is waiting for the next vehicle. So that's not good. So we can increase production if we get more cars to the paint guy. We have a little pile up here. So it looks like we either need to increase the productivity of the fit body, or we just add another component like this. Oops. Okay, here we go. So now I think our factory is pretty much balanced, and we should produce about 4 cars per hour. Also keep in mind that you can actually research upgrades like the faster robots, more robots. It's a really cheap research, and it allows you to increase productivity by 10% at the cost of additional power. That also allows you to balance a bit, because this guy, the electronics, is already only 2 minutes, so then it doesn't make sense to purchase additional robots. Okay, I think this will conclude the first tutorial. In the next tutorial I will talk about adding features to your car and using the more advanced production methods and research and development. Thank you for watching.